Hello and welcome to the Man Games. This is a Sting special. So if you didn't know, Sting debuted on AEW this week. What a surprise. Unfortunately, it was a little bit spoiled for me as I went to put YouTube on for my daughter, and the first thing that came up was a picture of Sting, but I didn't read it. I just went past it. So I did kind of have an inkling, before I watched AEW, what was coming. But it was still really good. I got chills watching Sting return or even debut on AEW. So Sting has always been my favourite wrestler even since I was a child. So yeah, he was doing the Crow character. My early memories of Sting were that. The first real memory I have of Sting was him putting Bret Hart in the sharpshooter and he wouldn't let go, and the NWO had to come down and break Sting off Bret Hart. And then I think the week after that, they did like a backstage brawl. That was really good. I'd never seen anything like that at the time. Obviously, I was only maybe 7 or 8, and I just thought this is something on a different level. Also, him and Warrior teamed up at that time to face Bret Hart and Hogan. That was really good. Also, so yeah, this video is just literally me just talking about Sting and what holds in store for Sting, now being in AEW. So my actual favourite match is Sting and DDP on an episode of WCW Nitro. Sting actually won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship from DDP. I was just so into this match as a child. It was the first time I ever saw Sting win the championship. Yeah, just so into the match. So Sting finishes the match by hitting a Scorpion Death Drop onto DDP and gets the win. Unfortunately, though, he lost it back an hour and 20 minutes later, roughly, in a fatal 4-way match against Goldberg, Kevin Nash, and DDP. DDP won the title back at the end of the night. So, yeah, I remember, being so excited. Sting had won the championship, the first time I'd ever seen him win it. And, yeah, then, not even 2 hours later, he lost the title. So, yeah, I went from a very high as a child to proper, gutted. So yeah, at the end of WCW, he kind of faded away. He had the last match of WCW. If you don't count the WWE Invasion stuff that they did, he fought Ric Flair, in the main event of Nitro, the last Nitro, and then he did appear a few times in TNA, but they kind of don't want you to remember that. They want you to remember him coming back to team with Christian. So that's meant to be like when he actually debuted. But he only came back for one match. That was the thing. He was only coming back for one match. But then Eric Young was saying to Jeff Jarrett that Sting isn't, he isn't retired. He is coming back. And then they sent Alex Shelley looking for Sting. And then Sting does come back. So in case you didn't know, Sting's time in TNA, he had some great matches with Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. Probably my favourite match was Sting against Kurt Angle. I think the episode on Impact was actually my favourite than the Bound for Glory match. Even though Sting did lose that match, I think out of the 2 matches, that one was the better one, actually. Yeah, this match with Samoa Joe, Bound for Glory, Joe, jumps out of like a window box in the crowd onto Sting on some stairs and that. What a spot that was. He also had, he had the match with AJ at Turning Point and the match with AJ, Bound for Glory. They were really good also. Yeah, so he was there for quite a long time, really. I think he was the first person in TNA's Hall of Fame. And then, yeah, he kind of just parts way from the company. And then Shocky's debuts Survivor Series 2014. He came down to stop the Authority from, winning their match and put an end to the Authority. Unfortunately, though, Sting's time in WWE wasn't that... obviously, I really liked it, just because Sting was on WWE, but it wasn't great in one sense. He lost his match at WrestleMania to Triple H. I remember even as an adult, I was so annoyed that they had Sting lose to Triple H at WrestleMania. What was the point, really? Of all that build for months to have Triple H beat Sting, really? I kind of think it was WWE's way of just beating another WCW star that, tried to put them out of business. It's just like you should be doing what's best for your company, not these petty, childish things. I know they have come out and said that it was because they were going to set up Triple H and The Rock for next year's Mania. I just think that's completely BS. I think that's an excuse. We've seen Triple H and The Rock loads of times before, so why would you need a special build for that anyway? And WWE do 50-50 booking that much anyway. Wins and losses do not mean as much in WWE as they do in AEW, like currently. So he had a really good segment on Raw when the Authority were going to gift Seth Rollins a statue, and they lift the curtain up, and Sting's in there, and yeah, Sting is now going to challenge Seth Rollins for the championship at Night of Champions. Unfortunately, Seth Rollins does injure Sting in that match, so that was actually Sting's last match. So I'm really lucky I got to meet Sting in Liverpool. You can see the picture behind me on the wall there. I'll put his picture on the screen for you as well, so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, obviously he's been my hero since I was a kid. I couldn't believe I got to meet him. Also he was a really nice guy as well. You're always a bit worried. If you meet your hero, are they going to really be what you want them to be? But he really was. He was such a nice guy. Nice to me, nice to my wife. That's what you want. You want them to be that person you've looked up to for so many years. So Sting said he was retired when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 32 weekend. Because the injury he sustained in his match against Seth Rollins, basically it was a neck problem. I think it's similar to what Edge has. I do know the name, but I'm going to butcher it if I try and pronounce it. But now, yeah, he's debuted in AEW. So I've seen a few people being a bit negative about this, saying that he's taking away a spot from the younger guy on the roster and stuff like that. Saying AEW is the next WCW. And I think it's just some people are being a bit small-minded or close-minded even about the situation. I don't think Sting's going to be having a match every Dynamite, and someone like Darby Allin's going to be on the shelf doing nothing. Don't think that's why he's there and that's what he's going to do. I think he will wrestle. I do think he will wrestle. But I think it'll maybe be twice a year or something. I mean, if he's signed a 2-year contract, I can't see him wrestling more than maybe if he was in a tag team, maybe he could say if he was in a tag team with Darby Allin, let Darby do 90% of the match and Sting just come in and do a Stinger Splash, Scorpion Death Drop, Scorpion Death Lock. That's all he needs to do. He doesn't want to be overdoing it at his age. His match with Seth Rollins, he was doing stuff he shouldn't really have been doing, in my opinion. You can actually listen to that podcast of me and the wife reviewing that. It's on the channel. So yeah, if you're interested, go back and check that out. Night of Champions 2015. So yeah, I think Sting being in AEW is a good thing. I know a few people have saying online that they're now going to watch AEW because Sting is there. I do think it's going to be a really good thing. So yeah, going forward, I never thought I was going to get to see Sting wrestle because I never got the chance to as a child because obviously I'm from the UK. You don't really get that opportunity to especially when WCW was around. I wasn't going to be able to go to America and watch it in the late 90s. So yeah. So now I do think there is a chance that I could actually get to see Sting wrestle maybe one last, maybe his last match, or there's still hope for me that I might get to see that. Even if they go to America, I probably will do that. Obviously, once we're out of this situation in the world we're in at the moment. But yeah, if I could, I'm definitely going to try and be there for if Sting's going to have a last match, or I just want to be there for at least one Sting match. I'd really love to do that. It's probably top thing on my bucket list now because I never thought I'd be able to do it, but hopefully now it's something that might be able to happen. But if Sting did have a match in AEW, I think I mean there's loads of people you could say Brody Lee, that Sting vs Brody Lee, I think that'd be a great match. Obviously, I keep saying Darby Allin. He looked at Darby Allin. His normal side of his face and the face painted side of him. He looked at one side then the other. I can't really say I'm that interested in Sting vs Darby Allin really. But I can understand why some people are. But I'd rather see Sting go up against Brody Lee. I reckon Cody will want a match with Sting. I definitely think Cody will want a match with Sting. And just one last thing before we end the video. The negative people that are saying that Sting's there to steal the spotlight and things like that. You can see in the background, you see Goldberg there with the Universal Championship. You see, I don't think Sting is there to do something like that. I don't think Sting is there because he wants to be the AEW champion. I think he wants to be there, to help AEW to be better. I don't think he's there for himself. Goldberg came back and he's won the Universal Championship twice. I don't think Sting's going to do that in AEW. I think he's just there to, to try and draw more eyes to AEW and, to try and make the place better. So I think, if people are going to be negative about it, I think you're thinking about the wrong things, personally. But that is just, that's my opinion. So yeah, lastly, to celebrate Sting debuting in AEW, every day until Wednesday night there's going to be a Sting video, 2K20 style, going up on the channel. So if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you come back to the Man Games and check that out. So I hope you enjoyed this little video of me just talking about Sting. Hopefully you learned some stuff that you didn't know before. So please subscribe to the channel and like this video if you enjoyed what you listened to, and check out the other content out on the channel. So yeah, thank you for listening to this Sting episode.